Well, hi everyone, this is Jilly, Little Zen Crone. Welcome to the Rune Circle. I'm so excited to be bringing this series together, this series of videos, and this community together. I'm really hoping that there's a lot of us out there that are working with runes and that really have a love for that divination system as I do, and that we can all learn from each other over the next 33 weeks. Excuse me. So I became fascinated with the runes years ago, and I had made it a goal of mine for several years to study the runes. And at the time, I had an Elder Futhark set. Let me get them. Well, this isn't the exact set that I had, but this is an Elder Futhark set. Beautiful set from, I think they're called Forge and the Phoenix. But started with these, and last year I took a class in the Anglo-Saxon runes because I had just promised myself every year that I was going to really study them, and I had books, and it never took place. So I wanted to fulfill that goal. I took a class with Kelly Fitzgerald from The Truth and Story, and I highly recommend any of her classes for the money you pay for them. She just she overgives, and she's so knowledgeable, and I learned a lot, but I still am learning more. So this series I decided to start now because here in the Northern Hemisphere, September is a big turning point for us. The days start to get noticeably shorter, and the temperatures start to get cooler, and we're starting to have our darker time of the year, our inside time. And if we start this week, 33 weeks will bring us to the beginning of April. So it'll get us through these dark months and into spring, and that kind of excites me too. Winter is kind of it can get rough around January and February, especially up here in the mid-Atlantic and in northern states. So anyway, I'm just really excited to work with the runes with you. And my hope is that we will bring a community together, and that as I share each one of the runes, one a week, that you'll share what you know of that rune, what you've learned, what your notes say, how you've used them, and that it will just become a big community. There will be a playlist for this, and new videos will drop every Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to seeing you next Wednesday. For right now, though, bear with me. I'm going to change camera angles here, and I'm just going to show you, because I know that the Anglo-Saxon runes are not widely used, and I just want you to see what they look like. I also know that there are some differences. I don't know if it's I honestly don't know if it's actual differences in just the pictures on the runes, or if it's the meaning as well. And we will kind of work through that as we go along. But yeah, I want you to see what the Anglo-Saxon runes look like. So I have them here. This is a set that Mr. Honey made for me. And he made them because he's just wonderful. He made them just a little bit bigger. These are about, I'm going to say they're like 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and they're a little bit thicker too. But he made them larger for me so that I could see them well, and he gave them to me last year around my birthday. It was just lovely that he did that. And he just, so that you also know, he is creating more runes. He has a piece of cherry wood, found cherry wood, that he has cut the tiles out. And these tiles are smaller and thinner. They're about an inch by an inch. So like the size, maybe a little bit larger than a Scrabble tile. And I'll try to remember to show you those. And I definitely will post pictures of these runes in the making as he goes along. And those will be for sale. I think I have the first set sold already, but he will be making more, and they will be for sale in my Buy Me a Coffee shop. So I will put the links to Buy Me a Coffee below, and you can go over there and see what's there. I have some readings that I'm offering. Also, I have a publication that a lot of you may know about, but it's called The Crone's Compass, and it is a monthly publication that I'm putting out that has, oh my goodness, it's like an almanac. It has things about about the zodiac sign that for the month. It has things about tarot. I do a collective tarot reading. I do mini readings for the signs. There's information about gods and goddesses that kind of coincide with the season. And then there's always a bonus section on the Wheel of the Year. So this month's, which comes out today, Wednesday, the 20th, is about Mabon. And I'm just really excited about this publication. I've gotten really good reviews, and people have told me that they really like it. It's something to use. It's something like to print out and to work with your coffee. There's space in it to write. You can write in the margins. And that's like, I just want it to be used. So anyway, that's there as well. But for right now, give me 1 second. I'll be right back, and we'll turn the camera around so you can see what these runes look like. Sorry for the shaking, everybody. Okay, so here are the Elder Futhark, not the Elder Futhark, the Northumbrian runes, the Anglo-Saxon runes. And as you can see, there are 11 more runes in this Futhark than there are in the Elder Futhark. And just like for a teensy bit of history, we know that runes are an ancient writing system, and they were used by the Germanic peoples of Northern Europe. So that would have been Scandinavia and beyond. They weren't just letters, though, because they represented things and tools that were in these people's lives at that time. Over time, the runes they evolved into several different versions. So there was the Elder Futhark and the Younger Futhark, and then much later came the Anglo-Saxon runes. The Elder Futhark is the oldest runic system, and it dates back to around the 2nd century CE. Now, there may be, I debate this because, there could have been other writing systems that are out there that we just don't see as quote unquote runes, but in fact might have been, right? So these came about in the 2nd century CE. And then the Younger Futhark came about by the Viking Age around the 8th century. And then from there, as the Vikings went south into England, the Anglo-Saxon and Northumbrian Futhark was developed. And that came about around, I think it was 800, around the 800s. And the Anglo-Saxon Futhark first grew to 28 runes, and then there were other versions that then soon developed to 31. And it made the most extensive of the runic systems. And so it wasn't used for just writing. They became divination tools for peoples too. So here in the rune circle, we're not approaching the runes as a class. This isn't a class. I'm not teaching you the right way. And instead, I'll be sharing what I think, what my reflections are on the runes, what I've learned, and then how I've worked with them. And I hope that you will share your experience too. And as we build this community together, it will be a community of learning and sharing and growing together. So I'm looking forward to starting next week with this rune right here, which is Fehu. So get your runes out and see if you can find this rune. And we will be talking about Fehu next week. Until then, take care, everyone.